Justin Tilley and Eric Sharp. Hey!
Microphone check, 1 2 1 2.
Hope you heard that.
Welcome.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Happy 100.
We're here.
100
It's 100 episodes in. Holy cow.
We did it. We did not set out to do this. This
No.
is a goal that I never had for myself, but we're here. Good job. Nice work. And we have some things to celebrate, some news, some exciting things. Should we first talk about our space?
Yeah, you might have noticed we're here in a pretty interesting space.
Yeah, we're actually live, and we do have some footage. I didn't really do this, so this is all Eric. Eric found this space for us right here in downtown Atlanta.
It took us a little while to find it, but you know.
Yeah. Nice work. You found it. Where are we? Tell them where our new space is.
We are officially members of Atlanta Tech Village, ATV, in the Terminus Hub,
Yes.
which is really the heart, becoming the heart of downtown Atlanta.
Correct. Despite Chris Moreno telling us not to get involved with this space or this area, we decided we would do it anyway.
Yeah, Chris has been a big proponent of ATV, and we love it. We love our home so far. We've been members here for just a little bit, testing out the space. But kudos to John Birdsong and David Cumming for creating an incredible space for folks like us.
Yeah, so if you are in Atlanta, if you visit Atlanta, you want to be part of the show, you can come visit us in person. There's some pictures here right of the space.
Yeah. So there's
a little tour.
Yeah, give you a little tour of our new spot here. So this is our podcast room where we're going to be bringing in our guests. If anyone wants to drive in or fly in, this is where we will be. We have some wonderful community spaces.
Mm-hmm. Nice co-working spaces,
Yep.
Great amenities. If you're taking in a Falcons or Atlanta United game, we're right down the street from Mercedes-Benz Stadium, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So a lot of cool stuff. There's also some influencer rooms. I think that's what you're seeing right there.
Yeah, you can take some wonderful photos, get new headshots done.
Exactly. And so you can also find us online. So we actually have expanded our reach, right?
Big announcement. Yeah. So we are officially available on Apple Podcasts. You should be able to watch our video here just shortly. But at the end of every show, we're going to be available on Apple as well as Spotify.
Right. I usually use Spotify when I go on a jog, and I don't typically listen to podcasts. Sometimes I do. But if you're somebody that listens to things, you can listen to us if you're going on a walk.
Yeah. Well, holy cow.
We have some big news in the industry this week. There was some fundraising news. A few folks announced a couple things. I know the folks at Boom had a big announcement this week.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Boom had two big things. They've officially announced their newest product, Boom CRM, coupled with raising some money. They raised Series A, $15 million. Yeah.
Very exciting. And there were some big rumors as well, or discussions reported by Business Insiders about EliseAI. They are being valued upwards of I think 3.7 billion, which could mean that they would get another round of fundraising around 300 million if that is to go through. Again, that's just talk. It's not finalized, but big nonetheless.
Yeah, this could be big changer for us. And we'll see how much this changes their multifamily side. They're also in healthcare tech
Yeah, exactly. Now, speaking of big news, we have a big guest today. It's not a stretch of exaggerating. We're not exaggerating on how excited we are to have this guest here.
Yeah.
If this guest were it's Mike Brewer, everybody, the one and only Mike Brewer.
Yeah.
We'd like to say a lot of things about Mike. If Mike was an apartment building in this industry, he would be a high rise.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And come up here, come join us. We appreciate you being here today. Thank you. You've been on the show once before.
That is true. Live.
Yeah.
And then I know that you also have been out there in the industry on your own show. And so when we first kind of came about, we actually, Mike reached out to me, reached out to you. He was a fan of the show. He actually liked the show. And that meant a lot because, somebody that has done so much in the thought leadership space likes it. It's kind of like a seal of approval. So we have a little joke award here for you where Mikey liked it. He liked our show.
He liked our show.
He actually liked it. So we thought we could. That's for you to keep, by the way.
This is my favorite cereal when I was a kid.
That's for you to keep. It's not just for show. But we thought you should join us as our co-host. And there's a few news articles in there. So grab one, read one, and tell us if you like this news or not.
Something's not going to snap.
No, it's not.
No.
It's not a prank like that. It's not a prank like that. Okay.
Should I read it?
Yes, read it. What's
okay? The MFWU quote of the week. The data tells us what is happening. Operations helps us understand why. Joni Shoemaker of the revenue method.
Yeah. So we have a quote of the week. We've just started doing this the last few. This is the quote of the week this week. What do you think of this? Do you like this? Do you not like it? What do you agree with it? How would you expand upon it if you were talking about it?
I work in this world all day long, every day now. So I think data tells us what is happening. And I often think of data as a dashboard, which tells us what happened, not what is happening.
Right.
So this gives us a little bit of a new spin on that. I do think operations helps us understand why. I think that's becoming more and more difficult these days with all the data that's flying at you.
It's a lot to sort through.
And
different ways of sorting. Yeah. Okay. Very cool. Well, there's some more. There's some more news in there. Let's get after it.
All right. Zillow Rentals is partnering with MMN to produce their podcast stage and unlock their user conference.
Now, I bet Mikey likes this.
I like that a lot.
Yeah. What do you want to talk a little bit more about the news or what this exactly is?
Yes, I think this is their user conference, just obvious.
Yeah.
Yep. And we have somebody there this year, Jennifer Carter, who will be sitting down and helping coordinate their podcast efforts. So we'll have many guests on podcasts.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it'll be fantastic. If you're interested in that, reach out to Jennifer Carter.
Yeah.
I think she's looking for people right now.
Yeah, that's very exciting. And it's also another way of fractionally, I guess, using a company, right, to do something that you don't want to produce, work on yourself, right? Zillow's kind of like, hey, you guys are the experts in this.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, Zillow's the expert in finding your next apartment, right? One of the many these days. But yeah, why not hire the experts in podcasting to create that content to make your conference that much better?
Yeah, great. Awesome. All right, the last item here. What do we have? That's it. That's all the news we're doing. We got to talk to you about some other stuff.
So. Okay, all right. Thought leadership. Desiree Flores shared thought leadership this week on cold calling, reminding people of the power of picking up the phone. Man, do you guys answer your phone when it rings?
Not anymore.
Right?
I do. Assuming it's not a spam call, sure.
So I never pick up the phone. I wait for it to go to voicemail or whatever. So I think, it's like, I avoid picking up the phone to call anybody because they're not going to answer anyway, right? So we do.
Right. But I have heard you speak, even to me, where it's like, there's been times where you're like, hey, text me. This is a conversation. Can we hop on the phone? Because there is some value in that in person or that kind of verbal, right?
You know what I think is really awesome? Just this week, Mary Gwynn, Apartment Dynamics, she texts me to see if we could get on a phone call. I called her immediately, and she went, "Oh, I wasn't really expecting you to call." So there was impact in that. So
I mean, that makes sense, right? I mean, these days I do the same thing, right? I'll text ahead of time, hey, you said you wanted to chat with me today in the AM. I'm just texting you to kind of check your temperature. Is this the right time, or do you have your hands full of groceries, right? I mean, because these days a lot of folks work from home or, take a day off here and there.
Awesome. Here, we can set this right here. So, because I mean, everyone's got to see this. Look at that face enjoying that cereal. Right
I love
there.
my sweater.
So yeah.
It's a good color on me. It's fall.
Ready for fall, yeah.
We appreciate you posing for that too.
Yes. Thank you so much. Yeah. I know it's kind of weird when we asked you to send us a photo of you scooping in a bowl.
Yeah.
You were more than happy to do it. So I don't
no idea that's where it would show up. Thank you.
So, thank you for being on the show. And it's a big deal to us because we actually didn't know what we were doing when we started, how long we would do it for, how well Eric and I could even tolerate each other week after week.
There's a reason I do solo.
But speaking of that solo, we also wanted to, keep our egos in check and make sure that, we didn't get too big of heads, is that, 100 is nothing in the end, because you have what, like 3,000 some for almost 3,000. All right. So you have many sets of 100. So Eric and I would like to know sort of, when you finished your first 100 of what you produce, how did that feel? And then how does it feel now? Like looking back to then and looking at now, like, how do you feel?
So it's really hard for me to remember 100. It was a long time ago. I can tell you what I do remember is the very first one. And I think I actually talked about Mike wheeling at 30 lines and the relationship that he had developed over a long bit of time, kind of nurturing a lead that turned into some business at one point. And I was in my car because of the best sound studio that you could get at the time, right? So all the acoustics were great. I was recording on my phone, and it was terrible. It was awkward. It was called Apartment Hacker at the time.
Oh, wow. So a different name.
Different name altogether. Yeah. It started out as M. Brewer Group, and then Mike Brewer on Stuff and Things, and then
Hacker probably wouldn't work well in our fraud
the
accent now. Like people would think it's a different kind of show.
Needed to change that branding a little bit. That's how Multifamily Collective came to be. So anyway, that being said, between then and now, I think I feel much more comfortable behind the camera. I don't shake and shiver and sweat break out on the brow when I set the video in motion. But it's I think it's one of those things where you ship and iterate, right? You just put that stuff out into the marketplace. When I originally did it, I just did it because I was a little bit shy and I'm introverted by nature. So getting in front of the camera and doing that rep every day gave me a lot of confidence in terms of getting out in front of people.
Well, and on that, in the same vein, Mike, what advice would you give someone who is on the fence about starting a podcast or creating content, or maybe they've been doing it for a little bit and they put it down? I mean, if you were to kind of start over again, what would you do?
Yeah, I think so. I've seen many posts like this on LinkedIn and in other channels where if you don't have something valuable to say, don't say it. And really, let's call them haters, right? But I think just like those people in the beginning, or just like me in the beginning, it's like, just go for it. And guess what? The market's going to tell you very quickly whether it's valuable or not. And then what you do with that information is what really matters. If somebody gives you a piece of criticism, you take it as gold and you incorporate it into the next episode. So my advice is start, listen to the market, incorporate that feedback into the next episode, and don't stop. 100, by the way, guys, congratulations. That's fantastic. The new digs are wonderful. I think 100 is just, now you've got the cadence down, you've got the consistency down, you're showing up every week. Keep going. Yeah. The next 100 will just fly by.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Let's see. Yeah.
Can't wait.
But we part of that has been kind of your first time on this show was, sort of our partnership with Multifamily Media Network, which has helped us a lot, just getting out there, getting seen in other ways. So we've been, grateful for that relationship and that kind of partnership. Speaking about that and being in the industry among thought leaders, among different kinds of, both sides of the fence, supplier vendors and, operators and everything, like how valuable are partnerships? how, both formal and informal, and how has that evolved for you over time?
Yeah, I think in my head, partnerships are everything. We don't do this alone, and you have to stand on the shoulders of giants, right? In order to take this thing to the next level. And I think you can't do that in isolation. Even if you are a solo podcaster and you just show up every day by yourself, there are the people who are out in the marketplace that are giving you the feedback that is very valuable. Now, entering into a partnership like MMN and MFWU, that doesn't just fly off the tongue. I think that the ability to leverage our respective audiences in order to send a message out into the marketplace is hugely valuable. But I think just the sitting in a room, sitting around a table, sitting at breakfast together and just brainstorming ideas just breeds this fantastic sort of collaboration about ideas and things you put out in the market.
Speaking of breakfast, I'm kind of surprised no one's kind of done an early morning, show where they just get on and talk about the news, top of the hour news. I mean, we consider ourselves more of like the late night news host, the Friday recap where you're having a beer, Bailey's in the coffee, if you will.
Yeah.
But for me, there's just there's a piece of pie, and the pie is going to continue to grow when it comes to terms with content. We should all be growing the pie bigger, right? Not trying to get a bigger, necessarily increase your slice of the pie, which is great, but that ends up boxing others out when you can be collaborative and grow multifamily as a whole. And I think that's one thing that I'm starting to see in the industry after being here for, just under a decade in multifamily. But it's just, seeing and listening to industry veterans like yourself, where you started creating content years and years ago and just, continue to grow and grow and grow it. And your ability to kind of thread the seams, right? And see where the market needed you to go. Now you have, I think you have the highest subscribed podcast in the industry on YouTube. You have the most amount of followers for sure. You're pumping out content left and right. And it's just, to me, you're a large boat that's creating, a wake for all of us to kind of swim in. So, on behalf of Justin and myself, thank you for, putting yourself out there first, being one of the first people to do that. And then also creating a space for all of us within, multifamily media network, giving us a home, if you will.
Oh, yeah, that's very kind of you. Yeah. I don't know what to say after that. No, I thank you. And I do think there are all these people who've come along since I started back in 2006 doing content, writing articles for the internet in the form of a blog, which is like, clearing your throat.
I remember.
Such a big deal.
But yeah, anyway, the medium's come along. But all the people who have come since then who produce things that are just far in advance that I ever imagined that I'd produce myself. And I see it out there today in terms of quality and content and delivery mechanisms and things of that nature. It's just awesome to sit back and watch guys like yourself doing the same thing. So very, very cool.
So outside, as we move into these other kinds of the rest of our show, outside of multifamily, so a lot of folks know you. You've kind of put yourself out there in certain ways, right? So they get to know you. What are some of the things besides coffee, and what type of coffee did you drink today?
My daughter bought something back from Southeast Asia. Forgive me, I don't remember the name of it. It had some chocolatey highlights in it. It was
all right. But it was good. All right.
It was really good coffee.
All right. Yeah. That was a trick question. I wasn't ready to tag the coffee company in it just yet. But outside of coffee, what are some of the other passions you have outside of the industry that maybe you that you find connection to, or just escape from? Is that kind of the hustle of what we do every day?
Yeah, I love running. I know you love running too.
I do.
You as well. Yeah. So running, I run every other day, marathons, half marathons, things of that nature. My daughter's really getting into that, which really pumps me up. So, and then hiking would be my other passion, and reading. I have a library of a couple thousand books, and not that I've read all a couple thousand books, but
it's nice that they're around. You could read them.
They're like my friends, and so good. I might read you someday. So.
Awesome. Very good. So so speaking of some of running, We do have a little thing we
on the lighter side. We
Yes.
found another runner in the industry
You don't
here.
have to hold this anymore.
So this is Eddie LeBouf. He went for a run. He went for a 5K, and Eddie is a regional maintenance supervisor, master plumber at domain companies. So, Eddie decided to, show the lighter side of his life where he's, getting out and running. And he's excited to run again in September. He's going out for the Tunnel to Towers run.
I love
That's
that.
a great run. Yeah.
Yep. So Eddie, we salute you and congratulations on knocking out that 5K.
Rock the run.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
So now we're going to go into another part of our show, which is we're going to celebrate ourselves a little bit.
You should
and challenge your memory a lot.
Oh, this is a problem.
So
you remember I'm an older guy, right?
This is your last time on the spotlight before.
So Mike
might be my last time.
Mike likes our show.
I do love the show.
It begs to question how many he has actually seen. I think he's actually seen a good number, which is very nice. Or parts of it. So Eric and I sat around. Multifamily Media Network has been sharing them this week. We kind of talked about some of the top moments of our show, the ones that stand out in our memory. There's a lot. We narrowed it down to 8. And so we just wanted to take a moment here. And Mike, you can...
I feel really alone.
Yeah, we're still here. You can...
Welcome to the show.
You can choose whichever one you want. I don't know if you can see those over there, but if not, we can...
What are you saying?
Oh, yeah.
You're making fun of my age. You're making fun of my age.
You brought up the elder thing. Not I. So we found. I'll read them out here. So we have a few episodes. The one with all the hats. The one with the leftovers. The one with the poetry slam. The one with the women's events. The one with the vampire coffin. The one with the collab crash. The one with the 100 game. And the one with the lint trap. And thank you to the Friends franchise for that nomenclature. It's a great way to name some episodes.
Those are clever. I like
yes. So, Eric, why don't you choose one? Let's start talking about what was out of these. What's one that jumps out at you? I know they all do, but what's one you want to start with?
I think one of our biggest shows. I'll do the first one here, the one with the hats. That was one of our most watched, most liked shows. It was in the beginning, and you and I were talking about changing things, weren't we?
There was changing things. It was also National Hat Day. Do you remember this at all, where we wore a whole bunch of hats?
I do. Okay. Content, no. Hats, yes.
Yes.
That's why we do it, kind of. Sometimes is that those non sequitur things are kind of anchors for people to remember that show. But we actually just kept changing our hats without saying anything about what we were doing until the very end of the episode.
Oh.
And then we explained why it was changing hats. And then, that was a really good one. I also, being a little more poignant, the one with the women's events was also a most probably live watched one.
Mm-hmm.
It was following up a conversation in the industry where there was some discourse on our LinkedIn feeds about, why have these women events? Why don't we just why are we separating out?
Right.
And there was some strong opinions about why they do, and we invited some folks on to talk about that. Do you remember that show?
I do remember that.
Do you remember that show, Mike?
You got it.
Yeah.
I do.
And you probably remember the conversation. What are your thoughts on it? Just that kind of topic.
Thematically, I think I like the idea that women have their own conferences. I do. I think that for real estate historically has been driven by male, right? Mm-hmm. And so the idea that women have come along now who have a seat at the table, not only do they have a seat at the table, they're leading many of the strongest organizations in this country. I think that's fantastic. And if you have a show that's just for women, to me, that's great. Do it. Do more of it. I like it. It's a big celebration. I like that.
Well, I think on the lighter side, the one with the lint trap amulet.
That short trended pretty well too.
Yeah.
And I will shout out, JB Johnson, who does this weekly, talking about consistency. Every week he shares some horrific, funky ass looking lint trap from some property somewhere. He's at R1 Services, I think, somewhere in Florida. I think, or no, he's in. They might be headquartered in Florida. He might be in Atlanta, but I appreciate the levity for myself of it, because it's very serious stuff. It's very, taking care of those things. It's preventing fire hazards.
It's maintenance 101.
But
That's right.
Yeah.
it's also a very fun way of kind of looking under the hood. It's a very fun way. And I found a few, like that one looked like an amulet. It did. And I found one that looked like a steak. I mean, it's kind of like, I was one of those kids that like would look at the clouds and be like, like, oh, I see that. I I appreciate celebrating what he does every week. So yeah, I enjoyed that one. I'll go one up, the one with the 100 game. And this is one of our earlier episodes. I don't think it was on this platform. I think it was on a different
No, we're on a different platform. Gosh, Karen Mao came on.
Karen Mao and Lucas.
And Lucas came on.
Yes,
and
before their company really took off in the way that it has, they came on to
yeah,
pitch
they
their
had
product.
raised one of the largest seed rounds, and we had them on to kind of explain where things were going. And since then, they have continued to grow and rise, thanks to our show, of course.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Of course.
The
The residual, I mean, just the millions of views.
There was a couple fun things about that episode. Was one is it would happen to be like World Puppetry Day, if you remember. You celebrated
That was a good one.
And Karen said how she was scared of a particular puppet.
There's
I
a
remember
particular
Janice
from
Muppets in Manhattan,
from Muppets, yep.
because
she squints like
she
crazy.
normally squints, but in this one shot, you see her eyes for the first time. And again, the storyteller in me, that was just such an authentic story. And I think I enjoy when people, just kind of talk and really share something that isn't like a pitch.
Yeah. Karen was so candid and wonderful to have on the show. One of our, first guests for sure in the early days. Yeah.
And we actually created a game for them where every answer was 100, but they didn't get it. And they didn't quite catch it.
They didn't catch on until the end. Yeah.
Yeah. We led with that government question, and that's always a tough one. So, all right, choose another one here.
Oh gosh, leftovers. The one with the leftovers.
Yeah, that was nice. Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
We were outside for that one. Did you happen to catch that?
I did not catch that one.
You were probably
I was on
enjoying
vacation.
Thanksgiving or your holiday time, and yeah. Do you remember that one?
Oh, I do. I remember that was one of the first times we had microphones and we were getting everything set up and trying to figure out how we were going to shoot. We were on site.
On a roof
outside
of
a new lease.
I was outside and you were inside.
Yeah, we
couldn't do the audio.
We couldn't figure out our audio because
We
it
were
kept
in
echoing.
In Grant Park.
Yeah.
Had a nice little view. We got to talk to residents too. Residents were like, "What the heck is this?"
Yeah.
And then they complained about some apartment stuff.
Yeah.
Honestly.
what residents do best.
Yeah, we could have done a whole show like that, but that would have been.
They complained about their high-rise
ungracious to our host.
kitchen with pool table and green garden outside. They complained about that, and I'm like, well, shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
These are people walking around.
They live there.
No, they were in their.
Oh, in the
apartments,
building.
that
Oh, okay. You were in an apartment.
I think they complained that not enough people used it, or when they did, they were loud. I don't know. It's just like, how do you move into a place and you already complain about things?
Right.
And we'll cover the one with the poetry slam here. That was we had someone on, Mitch from Elevate iOS.
Yeah, it's Karen.
Yes,
Yeah.
Mitch Karen, who was talking about their solution, their kind of new developments in that space. It happened to be, I don't know, Poetry Day or World Poetry Month or something. But we both recited PropTech poems. Do you remember this?
I remember. I won't be able to recite the poems, but I remember. That would be impressive.
Don't ask me. I don't remember the poems.
No, I don't remember the poems either. But I do remember that Eric won and I did not. I was very sad. You had a limerick. Mine was like a very serious poem.
Limericks are the best. Yeah.
Yeah. And we'll do this last one here. Look at the chat.
Which one? Oh, we got it. We got a
and
little.
then the very last one is
Mice, but yeah. Mice. Yeah.
No, he's doing great.
He's doing all right. How about you did Vampire Coffin?
Oh,
yeah. Vampire Coffin.
That was a recent one.
That was, we had Ashley James on, who recently joined
That's right.
Multifamily Media Network and is crushing it, of course, showing different perspectives. but she had an incredible story back when in her leasing days and operation days. And she talked about how she, I don't know, did a wellness check or just checked in with one of the residents who thought they were a vampire.
They live like one.
They lived like one. I'm pretty sure there was a coffin.
There was a
There's a coffin.
That was the bed they slept in.
yeah.
Maybe they just take a little nap in there. You know.
Now here's an idea. Is like, is there a market for like really insane people to like cater to the weird?
Ooh,
Like, is there a building where it's like, no, bring in your coffin?
Yeah.
Oh, you want to stick those things in the ceiling? Yeah, we got it. As long as it doesn't violate our fire code, right? Like,
yeah, exactly.
Is there a market for that? And or is that risk?
I think that's called class C. Yeah, I know.
That's a horrible joke.
I know. Class C property, you're not getting your deposit back. So, I mean, it's just.
There is, it brings to mind for me in Oregon, there's this thing called McMinimans, and they have these like really eclectic hotels all over the place, and it's / brewery / restaurants. And they're very weird old buildings that had old histories. One of them is like an old hospital. One of them is an old mental institution, right? And so their rooms are all like some creepy, like real creepy. You walk in, you feel creepy.
So,
so maybe yes.
There is a market for that, right? And the last one here is the one with the collab crash, which this was before we had a podcast space, before we are in Atlanta Tech Village. We would go on site to a lot of properties, which we still might do sometimes. Yeah. One of those times we were alongside an event that Tara Samuels was hosting, the Collab Circle, which was really about suppliers in the industry talking about challenges, kind of coming together versus seeing each other as competition, but coming together and discussing things that apply to our lives. And we were going to have them via video where they were, and we were going to be our technical you're the executive producer?
Executive producer.
So for whatever reason, it couldn't work. So they just all like crammed in to the room.
We were trying to get the internet to pick up a cell phone view, and it just wouldn't work out well. So we just had them all flow into. And
it was
room.
It was like they were like on top of it, it was a fun. The energy was nice. They all got to introduce themselves.
Very off the cuff, but it was just one of those. Let's just wing it.
Who's the late night host who brings all the people into a really tiny space into the
songs? Oh, Jimmy Fallon, the Tiny Desk concert.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, maybe that's where you Tiny Desk meeting. Desk,
maybe we'll do that.
I love that. All right, so our other moment of wonder.
Oh, you're back.
We're back. We're
here.
The pressure's
on.
on.
Felt like you were like in prison. So I have to give it to Mike Brewer because this is probably the most uncomfortable thing because we told him about like 2 things and everything else was a surprise. Everything else was a surprise. So I appreciate you going with the flow on this show, and it will be entertaining, I promise.
He did quite well.
It was great. It was great. It was great.
It's easier to get up on stage, right? Because at least you have
so much easier. Like months of preparation.
Yeah. Well, we don't really, that's one of the secrets to our show is that, to your point earlier, is just get out there and do it. We do sacrifice polish and preparation sometimes for just being present and just being like, yep, we got to go at 12:30 and this is what we got to do. And so we do. And sometimes we come up with a lot of crap.
Yeah. Well, and to be honest with you, we're only 100 episodes in and there's a lot of work to be done.
That's right.
Go. Speaking of work to be done,
that's our metaphor for our 100 episodes. In that sludge, there is some great stuff. You could technically take a bath in it. But you stay tuned for the next 100, where that water might look a little better with Multifamily Weekend Update.
We're always trying to clean up our act.
Yeah, right. Thank you again, Mike.